So guys, welcome to our PhD 120 video presentation where we will explore one of the important topic in political science. It's the state legitimacy, human rights and democracy. So let's check it out. So this is my team member, including me, as Muhammad FAIZUDIN, NURUL EZZATI, NAJIHAH, FARAH ALEEYA, and Muhammad IMRAN HAKIM. So let's proceed.
Hi, my name is FARAH BINTI HISHRON, and let me guide you into the introduction. What is state legitimacy, you might ask? State legitimacy is a relationship between the government and its people. As a social creature, humans need a set of rules to avoid them from being hostile and ruining their social life. State legitimacy is built on trust. The government will give rules and protection to the citizen. What is the link between human right and democracy? Human right build trust and fairness. The government that take human rights seriously will gain a lot of trust and build more stronger legitimacy than the one that didn't. As for democracy, the will of people will determine the political authority, giving the government its legitimacy. In short, all of these elements need to be aligned to create a stable and excellent government.
When a state protects human rights, it builds strong public trust, citizens feel safe, respect, and equal. This sense of security strengthens their confidence in the government. This is why human rights are important to us as a citizen, as a human being. Protecting human rights also show that the state is accountable. It enforces law fairly, punishes abuse, and prevents the misuse of power. This accountability helps maintain order and strengthens their relationship between the government and the people. Countries that respect human rights often perform better both socially and economically. When people can freely express themselves and participate in society, it leads to innovation, stability, and growth. However, when the rights are violated, it creates public anger and unrest. Over the time, this can lead to protest, rebellion, or even civil conflict. So the government must protect the citizen rights as a human rights. In short, protecting human rights is not just a legal duty, it is the foundation of peace, progress, and lasting government legitimacy.
A state is considered legitimate when it gains the trust and support of its people. First, legitimacy comes from sovereignty and lawful authority. This means the state has the independent power to govern and makes use of laws and institutions to maintain order and justice. People accept the state's rules because it is seen as legal and rightful. Second, democratic elections and participation. When citizens are allowed to vote, express their opinions, and influence decisions, they feel involved and represented. This builds confidence in the government. Lastly, transparency and accountability make a state trustworthy. A legitimate government is open about its actions and takes responsibility for its mistakes. These elements, which are lawful rule and public participation, are what make a state truly legitimate in the eyes of its people.
Now, let's look at what happens when a state is weak or has failed. In this situation, governments struggle to maintain law and order. They may lack the power to protect citizens or provide basic services like safety, healthcare, or education. This creates space for violence, injustice, and human rights abuses. For example, in Syria, the ongoing civil war has destroyed many state institutions and millions have been displaced. Another case in the Rohingya people in Myanmar. They face persecution and have very limited legal protection due to government failure to act. These examples show how, when a state is weak or absent, people's basic rights are at serious risk. On the other hand, strong states like Sweden and Canada are known for their effective governance. They have a strong democracy where people can vote and have a voice in government decisions. Their law protects rights and the justice system works. That means if someone's rights are violated, they can go to court and expect a fair process. In these countries, the government has the power and legitimacy to protect its people, and that makes a big difference. Next, we will look at weak or failed states like Somalia and Palestine. This place either have a very weak government or no proper government at all. Because of that, there is no strong law enforcement, no effective police or justice system. So how people's rights are violated? There is no protection or fair justice for them. Citizens in these states often face violence, war, and human rights abuses. This shows how important it is to have a strong and stable government to protect the people. So, what can we learn from this case study? The main lesson is this: when a state is strong and legitimate, people are safer and their rights are better protected. But when a state fails or is too weak, people often suffer and outside help, like NGOs or the UN, may be the only support. That's why state legitimacy is not a just political issue. It is human rights issue.
So, to conclude everything, legitimacy plays a very important role in ensuring a stable and fair government. When people recognize their leader as legitimate, it helps to bring political stability and even supports positive social changes. A government with strong legitimacy can make decisions more effectively, enforce the law, and respond to the problem more easily, compared to the one that lack of legitimacy. Citizens are more likely to obey rules if they believe those rules are fair and appropriate. When people see rules as legitimate, they may even help to enforce them. For example, like reporting wrongdoings to the authorities. But when rules are seen as unfair or illegitimate, people resist them, and this can weaken the government's ability to function properly. Now, let's take a look at the global implication. Legitimacy is not only important within a country, but it also matters globally too. Big problems like climate change, poverty, and pandemic cannot be solved by only one country alone. These issues need international cooperation. Global governance groups often use expert advice to show that their policies are valid and beneficial. This is how they build trust and gain support from the global public. However, partnerships like those between the UN and private firms can be questioned when they don't show clear results. Without strong evidence or success, people begin to doubt their effectiveness and credibility. So, here are some of the recommendations on how to improve the global trust and effectiveness in global governance. Firstly, global partnerships should be reviewed regularly. For example, the Johannesburg Partnership from 2002 were later evaluated to see how well they match with the UN goals. Secondly, it is important to be transparent. Government and international organizations should share updates with the public. For example, like goals, funding details, and the challenges they faced. By doing this, they can build a stronger trust and engagement with the public, which can help to increase their legitimacy and credibility.